Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Heavenly Parent Holy Community Oceania morning Hundoke. And today we have a special message that Yonaning gave last night, a small message, and then Rev Kenji Watanabe. Today is Friday, the 6th of March 2026, or the 18th of January in the 14th year of Chong Book. So thank you all for coming, and let's begin with a bow to our true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind. Chanji Champunim Ge Chambe Paro. And let's recite our family pledge, both in Korean and English.
가족맨세 4. 천일국 주인 우리 가족은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 찬조 이상인 천주 대가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 4. Our family, the owner of Chong-il-guk, pledges to build the universal family, encompassing heaven and earth, which is the Heavenly Parent's ideal of creation, and perfect the world of freedom, peace, unity, and happiness by centering on true love. Thank you, and I'd like to share True Mother's blessing prayer that she gave on the 17th of February 2013. Heavenly Parent, may glory be with heaven, and may praise and exaltation overflow in all people on earth. True parents of heaven, earth, and humankind, we are so grateful. You have worked so hard. We know that today we are unworthy creatures that cannot stand under the wing of this great blessing and grace. Yet heaven has graciously and forgivingly embraced us again. Father, how can we be the only ones to receive this grace and deeply moving experience? To you, our Heavenly Parent, we pledge and resolve once again to move as one force toward the completion of Chong-il-guk until the end of our days. Heavenly Parent, please embrace us. We have the fervent desire to stand before you as children who can receive your love and be proud. Our dear God, on this occasion I beseech you, our Heavenly Parent, please protect us to the very end, and may your will be accomplished well throughout the entire world. Arju. And before we welcome up Yoranam's brief message, I'd like to share this praise song. Please.
하늘이여 보십니까? 밤 10시부터 새벽 1시까지 당신의 옷자락을 붙들고 흘린 나의 핏물 같은 기도를 어머니 나라 그 야윈 손길이 바친 헌신이 어찌하여 이토록 시린 칼날이 되어 돌아옵니까? 소리 내 기도를 삼키고 시즈오카의 찬바람은 뼈마디를 파고드는데 거짓의 혀들이 쌓아올린 저 차가운 법정의 벽 진실한 유배당하고 사랑은 조롱당하는구나. 억울하여라 이대 틀린 세상의 침묵이야. 피눈물이 흐른다 무너진 재단 위에 피눈물이 흐른다 기독의 이름으로 형제를 베고 공산의 걷기로 성전을 허무는구나. 주위보다 매서운 해산에서 슬퍼런 명령 어머니 나라 식구들의 마른 눈등엔 고름이 맺히고 평화를 향한 일생의 도전은 낙인이 되어 지켰으니 이 슬픔을 어느 강물에 씻어야 하리요 무너져라 차라리 뭉도져서 뼈과 함께 무너져라 그러나 보라 육신은 가도 너 영혼의 기도는 가두지 못하리니 희절찬절한 이 노래가 하늘 끝까지 다 언젠가 진실어 태양 아래 우리 다시 통곡하며 만나리 어머니 나라여 나의 형제여 무너지지 마오 죽어도 죽지 마
We'll just go on to Yonaning's message.
전 세계 식구님 여러분,
Members all around the world, hello. Today
오늘도
today as well,
환경과 어떤 여건에도 굴하지
Uh,
않고 꾸준히
in any circumstances, I truly am grateful for all around the world, members all around the world for their devotion. I also want to share my gratitude for those who are participating in the devotion in front of the detention center. Today, on this morning, I was able to see True Mother.
긴 얘기를 하려는 건 아니고요.
It's not a long talk, however.
현장에서 식구님들이 열심히 노력하는 활동하는 내용들도
I was able to share
있었지만, 사실은 어제
about
있었던
all of the work
어떤 내용에 대해서
the members were doing.
그냥
However,
간단하게 천심원이 기도할 때
also yesterday,
우리 어머니 나라를 위해서
we were
기도와 격려의
offering.
간단하게
I was able to give a message during the Chunshima night vigil last night.
그랬을 때
I was able to give a report to True Mother about that, and True Mother said,
그 어떤 때보다도
and
흔들림 없이
we should be.
단호하고 굳건하게
True Mother was not wavering, and
이미 예상을 했었던 일이기도 하기 때문에 그러니까 전혀 그거를
So it was
예상하지
not
못하고
really
왔던 일이 아니기 때문에
unanticipated because we were anticipating it
어머니 나라에서
beforehand. So
그래도 잘 대처할 것을
a True Mother
믿어주셨습니다.
has trusted that the
그래서
Mother Nation
오히려
will be able to go over it,
염려하지 말라고
and told us that
단호하셨습니다.
with the firm belief that told us True Mother told us to not be shaken, to not be wavering.
오히려 어머님께
When we meet True Mother, we were supposed to give comfort for True Mother. However, True Mother was the one who was giving comfort to us. However, it might be concerning for True Mother. However, it just doesn't not stop on just the concern, because we have a goal that we need to fulfill the dream of Hell Parent, and we have our responsibility. We know that, and I think because True Mother also knows that, and she was able to emphasize that for us as well, so that we could realize once again that this is our responsibility. And True Mother, in any circumstance, she is not changing. She is offering a devotion with the same standard for heaven, offering devotion for the entire world. so that this Korean people could be the people, to be the chosen people, who will be responsible. And that is the true mother is currently putting devotion and supporting us. So for us as well, even though we are hard and during the circumstances, we should not be shaken. We should be firm in our center, in our heavenly parent, and the heavenly parent's love and true parents' teaching. We should be able to center everything on that and be even more firm. And that is a true that we should be one and firm. That is the wish of true mother. We should not be stopping on just concerning, but we should be going to the right path so that the truth will be revealed. We should be go the path of true love as we were educated and become the true family, so that we should show the world this is the path of the world. As true parents has believed that, we should give comfort to her so that she won't worry. So brothers and sisters, all of us, we should be united and with centering ourselves on the absolute center, and remember that we should be offering even more devotion as children and become growing as and fulfilling our responsibility. And I would like to share our true mother's hearts.
Thank you. And now I'd like to welcome up Rev Kenji. So thank you.
Good morning. Let me set up the PowerPoint. Just a moment, please. So can you see PowerPoint?
Yeah. Yes, can
Okay.
see.
Okay, thank you. So good morning to you all, the Reverend Yutaka and all brothers and sisters of Oceania, Pano, one family. Today is the 18th of the first month, 14th year of Cheongilguk, 6th of the March 2026. Well, thank you, Reverend John, for sharing the song and unanimous message beforehand. Wow, the song composed for the nation, its lyrics is very, very heavy. And anyway, really appreciate for the person who composed the song for the Japan. So I, as a partly Japanese, well, I still optimistic, and this is the opportunity for us to really strengthen our faith and the renewal of our faith and our organization. So this is the new beginning, really. We shouldn't be really have a kind of sad feeling. Rather, we make a determination. So today's reading that I like to share is that continuously contents come from the God's will in the world. I think this is a sixth topic in the book, and title is the Defense of the Unified Front. Speech was given 1st of January 1972 in Washington, D.C. And the main topic was the motto that true parents gave, which was a defense of the unified front. Sounds still relevant to us today, referring to what's happening in the world. I think that comparing the 1972 and 2026 situation of the world, not much difference. Still, war is going on more in advanced way, using the all sort of the intelligence and the highest technology. But fundamental issue is the same as before. So let's read. Contents, just a moment. Yep, so let's begin. So last year, the motto was the security of the foundation of the unification. So we worked hard for 1 year with this motto, and we have accomplished many things and received much blessing from God. So what's they had been made in the past year, which means in 1971, the foundation was secured. They aligned the ministries with the security of the foundation of unification, and the ministry expanded. The new initiatives launched and programs strengthened across teams. And the more people joining in the American movement and preparing for the big rallies. And month by month momentum, so we saw the consistent growth in accomplishment, blessed and guided by God. And so I was not the participant of the movement in 1970s, but those who experienced substantially saw that the progress of the God's providence, and people were really excited to really to make oneness with the true parents to create the ideal world in those days, despite the communism was strong. So dramatic world is currently facing very critical time. So we know very well that it is threatened by communism, not only the United States, but all of the democratic world, Asia, Western Europe, all nations and organizations and churches are threatened by this ideology. So today, actually, still communist regime is strongly influencing to the democratic government. Japan, United States of America, no exception. So we have been really affected by the communism, the tactics. So then Father is talking about the Christianity's mission and the limitation in confronting communism. The free world is standing on the front line in order to carry out its external responsibility to defeat communism. However, if it becomes threatened and cannot fulfill its mission, those who bear the internal mission will have to fulfill the external one as well. In the democratic world, among the many religions, Christianity must be the choice to fulfill this internal mission. But if we ask whether present day Christians have thought system capable of overcoming the communist system and devoting themselves fully to help society and the world, the answer is disappointing. If established Christianity cannot fulfill this mission, then another religious movement must rise up which can. So this is, of course, the unification movement. So we have a responsibility to shield Christianity and all religions from the threat of communism. So True Father was talking the environment circumstances in 1970s, and we thought that communist age was over in beginning of the 1990s since the Soviet Union collapsed. But the influence of the communism actually not coming from the outside, rather inside people's the mindset. And as long as the resentment, hatred towards the existing the society and world, communism want to be perished. So that's the true for today. And so many division and the conflicts keep going. And as True Father emphasized that the mission for the Christianity and the religious movement was the one who should have dealt with the mindset of the communist, the activities, communist thinkers. So Father's saying that so far the Unification Church has been developing foundations in order to help Christianity and the democratic world cope with the communist world. Looking at the present situation from the God's point of view, this unified front is clearly the final frontline force upon which God can rely on the world level. Therefore, so we have to defend this unified front, not just for the sake of any one church, but in order to take responsibility for saving of all humanity, whole of Christianity, religion, and the entire democratic world. So this is why our motto this year is defense of the unified front. So already Father they're sharing with us how we can work together beyond the denominational the thinking and religious differences, as our common enemy is the not particular person or group or nation. That's ideology which deny God. So unfortunately, still mainstream Christians and some religious organizations opposing us, the supporting the left-wing, the activist and the government decision without knowing their main purpose. As society's problem is the one that so we have to really invest ourselves to solve the problem together with the like-minded people, organizations. By doing so, people acknowledge us as the useful group, organization. It's far from the anti-social the movement. Now talking about God's will and internal and external mission. So, well, just I'd like to ask someone to read. Is Jenny around?
Yes.
Could you read
Okay.
once, please? Thank you.
God's will is our priority. Externally speaking, our mission is for the world. We also have an internal providential world level mission. The principle does not allow us to accomplish just one part of the whole. Achieving the internal victory is not enough. We must complete the external victory as well. Then, which is more important, internal things or external things? We should attach more importance on the internal things, since internal issues are for the sake of God, while external issues are for the sake of man. God's will take priority.
Thank you. Continue, please.
From individual to national in providence. God's will is for progress to begin with an individual who becomes one with God and continues with a family who unites internally with that individual. It continues with a clan that is one internally with the family, a tribe that is one with the clan, and eventually a nation that is one with the tribe or race. In all past ages, the goal of the dispensation has been to find the completely God-centered nation, someone who can fulfill his total responsibility would also be able to mobilize and would also be capable of mobilizing a nation. Hence, for 4,000 biblical years, God prepared for a truly responsible person who could become one with him internally, and then take responsibility for a family, clan, tribe, and nation. Jesus Christ came as the central person who could take on this responsibility on the foundation of God's hard work throughout the 4,000 years. However, the nation of Israel did not believe in Jesus and had him killed. Jesus passed away without creating an earthly victorious foundation on the individual, family, clan, tribal, or national levels. The nation of Israel was left without any way to become one with God internally. Only those who believed in Jesus could approach God's heart. So the history of restoration was prolonged for another 2,000 years.
Thank you. Yes. So Jesus came 2,000 years ago to restore the God's original ideal, and so he was the one who was supposed to be protected by his own people, nation, which had been prepared 4,000 years before Jesus came. But ironically, always happens in history that the prepared people oppose the God's plan. So just let me read this slide, the historical context, Jesus and the prolonged providence. Position within Christianity, the Unification Church stands as the most internal movement within Christianity itself, the core within the democratic world. So, Unification Church was supposed to support the Christianity to fulfill her responsibility, and no intention at all to create another denominational church for true parents. And of course, today, as we are under the name of the Family Federation for World Peace and Unification, based upon the victorious foundation that true parents have paved under the Holy Spirit Association of World Christianity. But ironically, what we are facing is the similar situation. So Father said, God's will is to consummate the 2,000-year providence centered on this sphere, calling for the clarity on the original hindrance. So to advance, we must examine what blocked the fulfillment 2,000 years ago in Jesus' time and resolve it in the present. So we learn from the historical fact and providential understanding. So let's read the contents or the lessons from the Jesus mission. So Jesus was actually not protected, despite he knew that his mission to fulfill. Jesus' lack of protection and the consequences. 2,000 years ago, although Jesus witnessed disciples and many people followed Jesus, thousands at the time, but eventually, 0 individuals or clans provided protection for Jesus, Joseph's family, or Zechariah's family. So resulting in the inability to establish an earthly foundation. Through which we understand that we cannot fulfill God's will until we resurrect the foundation lost when Jesus was not protected by family, clan, tribe, race, and nation. Today, we must protect the Lord of the second advent on the individual level with our families. So our families must be protected by our clans, and our clans must be protected by our whole movement, representing our tribe or race. So without strengthening these foundations, so we cannot fulfill God's will. So we must create the individual foundation to which heaven can give its official approval externally. Then, so we must shield that individual by creating a family foundation. Shield a family with a clan foundation. Shield the clan with a racial or tribal foundation. And shield the race with a national foundation. So we have been fighting steadfastly so far in order to attain all of these levels. So our goal is to form new clans centering upon the new internal relationships. And we are forming a new race that is marching forward a new nation. So personally, I am deeply moved by the contents which really relevant to our situation of today as well. And fact is that true parents are still in a vulnerable position as no substantial protection in even family level, clan level. True father, true parents, they insisted us to fulfill the responsibility of the tribal messiah, starting with the home church, home group, and the tribal messiah, even heavenly tribal messiah. That's the foundation to protect the our center of the pillar, which is true parents and true family. And what we are facing is that because of the lack of the foundation, true parents expose themselves to this situation. And after all, so we all have to be we have to really repent, as we hadn't been able to establish the foundation enough to protect true family, true parents. So hint or answer to the solution, what we are facing today, is already given 1970s. So let me read. So each of you stands on the borderline between God and Satan and the master shield. So those who are standing on God's side by gaining decisive victories over Satan's worst attacks. For example, you should stand in a worse position than Peter, James, or John and maintain the authority by which you can defeat Satan. Otherwise, God cannot protect you. So when we look at the situation of the movement, Japan and Korea, so we are really in the position of the Peter, James, and John. And true faith in God and true prayers are tested. On the other hand, by successfully going through this period of time, strengthening the faith in God and true parents, God can reveal his authority of true love as the owner of the universe, for sure. So Japanese people are strong in heart, in faith, and I believe they are able to overcome. Sorry. Our missionaries have received messages and a phone call from the headquarters, and all scheduled plan was cancelled, with this saying that still they gonna be responsible for the missionaries and gonna have something, despite all the asset was now in custody, and they cannot use. And I was amazed to hear the feeling and the thought from the missionaries. They are still positive despite the uncertainty, but they have a strong hope. And as far as the family is there, community is there, no issues. Without the kind of legal body, we still can practice it, and we can expand the realm of the God's love, centering on God and true parents. So anyway, I was really comforted by their attitude. Anyway, let's build a foundation for God's will. So protection at every level. So in the time of Jesus, Joseph's and Zechariah's families were in a position to fight the satanic world and gain the victory, thus forming a shield for Jesus' family. However, they did not do so. Jesus could not create his own family, and instead went to the cross. So we all know this very well. Therefore, in your own family, so you must create the foundation to protect the family of the Lord. So protection really need in individual level, family level, tribal level, in the national level to bring the world of peace. But we are still far away from to achieve the world of peace. Still, we are stuck in individual family level, even struggling to achieve the tribal level. But we definitely need to win tribal level and beyond. So this is the principle called the shielding principle. Smaller position is safeguarded by the next higher level. I don't know when the original word in Korean translated into English and makes sense that what the father meant. Anyway, I hope that it's understandable. The lower or smaller position need to be saved by the next higher position. So in order to protect Jesus' clan, the family around him had to gain a victory in the racial or tribal sphere and stand on that victorious foundation. Therefore, Jesus' family could have been saved or shielded by the Jesus' relatives or clan. The clan by the race or tribe, and the tribe by the nation. So in the Jesus time, original mission was to restore the family and the relatives and the expanding. So heavenly tribal messiahship is the one that Jesus was supposed to accomplish. But those who are close to Jesus didn't know about the God's will at all, and they couldn't become the sealed for the Jesus and Jesus family. So somehow this situation applied to our situation we are facing today. Well, I think this is the conclusion for this presentation. The defense of the unified front speech is a long speech, and I just divided into the three. So this is the first one out of the three. The speeches under the defense of the unified front. So in summary, the defense of the unified front is crucial to counter threats and advance God's providence. So unity, not only our people, but also like-minded people and organizational churches. So from understanding the significance of the unity, the role of religion to learning from Jesus' mission, we see the importance of protection at every level. Embracing these lessons empowers us to build strong foundations and achieve decisive victory in today's spiritual and global challenges. Aju? So we have to make a maximum effort to bring the unity in our community. And Satan's tactics are always trying to divide. So we should unite no matter what. That's the position of the true parents. Without true parents, we cannot realize God's original ideal, as it says, one family under God. And I really hope that true children come back. No matter what, mother is their mother, and mother for all of us. And all like-minded people and organizations are with us, and let us create the momentum to lift up the culture of the one family under God. So that's all I wanted to say this morning. And thank you very much once again for all of your concern and effort to overcome this difficult situation. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Kenji, for sharing, and really very heartfelt at this time when everything seems to be falling around us, but we need to become that shield. As you mentioned, Father has said, need to be that shield of protection for true parents at every level, and that can is very. We know it's our responsibility. We know, that we were given the mission of tribal messiahs, and to build that protective fence around our true parents, and yet we find ourselves today realizing that we didn't become that shield. It should have happened earlier. I mean, that speech was in the 70s, and as like yourself, I was not there at that time, but the movement was moving and progressing and going leaps and bounds and every step of the way. And true parents succeeded in everything they were asked, and then they passed it on to the children, to us, to carry it out. And our Father saying we don't have to go all the way to the world level. All we have to do is complete tribal Messiah. And then we have the Chombo victors, who've completed the 430 vertically and horizontally, but still many of those shield didn't become shields, even though we have the spiritual strength of the Chongson One Vigil prayers, and we have the truth of our true parents. It still was up to us, as we know, to realize our responsibility, but as a united front, the defense of the united front. We always didn't quite catch how big that united front was meant to be. Every person accepting true parents, understanding the principle, working together, holding hands as a shield. And I always had that image of when we enter the kingdom of heaven, that we always hold our hands together as far as the eye could see and step across together. But I don't think we were able to hold hands. But this time is different. I think, yes, it's a new opportunity, with what's happened to Japan, for the rest of the world to hold their hands together, because I think Japan succeeded as a nation to hold its hands together as a unified front and then support the rest of our community worldwide. And it's time for us worldwide, to hold hands together and really support our true parents, our mother, and our brothers and sisters in Japan. So this is so thank you for your message, and open up to anyone else who might like to make a comment. Please do. Some happy news, just not so long ago, just a few moments ago, Mayumi and Yuki are the proud parents of a son. I posted up some photos just during this morning, and they looked happy. I don't have any details of the size or but yeah, just that's a healthy boy, and they went through a long process, just like young men. They were induced from early morning, like they went there 8 a.m. and then were induced, and then through the day, and then they said, oh, the heads come out, and then the body, but finally uh, uh, all the concerns were quieted, and now the baby and mother are healthy and doing well. So it's great news. So thank you. All right, I think it is that time. Maybe we can just Chris and Debbie, yeah, go ahead. Go.
John, look, I'm just wondering, with the ruling, does that mean all our operating systems, computers and everything and information is non-accessible now?
It means all assets were seized immediately. They appointed a liquidator. The liquidator's going now. They can't. People, anyone in the church were kicked out. The church buildings were taken. All the assets frozen. All the money taken, and the liquidator will then divide it up and give it to all of the victims. And so, yeah, there's nothing. As people, people can of course believe what they believe, but all the buildings, everything was taken. So many. I understand church leaders who lived in the centres with their families. They had to go and be looked after by other people, and so yeah.
I'm just wondering, I don't know what people can say publicly, but there must be records that have been saved by people, like, online records and things like that of information, surely.
Yeah, I think anything personally that people have that wasn't stored on hard drives that are in the buildings, is there, and it's true. Anything that's saved online, of course, that's there. Yeah. Yes, Jeff, go ahead.
Sort of, it's uncannily like Mother herself situation. Everything's been taken away, and she's just like that, So the whole movement in Japan is just like that, not the freedom they had to do what they needed to do, So it's very, Mother Nation is going through a similar thing to Mother herself in some kind of a way, So anyway, as was said, new beginning and new foundation, especially the Nabi and all these other young kids, second generation with President Hori leading them. A whole new, fresh kind of thing is coming out, and starting again from a more pure foundation, with God's children, who have the foundation and condition for God's direct protection. So not to worry too much about the external, as Kenji was saying, it's that internal thing that we need to really get sorted out, and then those external things will come to us, on a better foundation with young, pure people to lead our community. Yeah. No pressure on the young ones, but have a nice day.
Thank you, everyone. It is time now to offer our unison prayer, so I'll just bring up that screen. There it is. Okay, so thank you, and let's pray together. Jew, Jew, Jew. Thank you again, Reverend Kenji, for sharing, and I hope everyone has a great day and see you all again tomorrow. So thank you, and okay, bye-bye.